defense was terrible in this game. They were brutal. I didn't notice Chychrun out there once in that game. Let's go! Give me what I want! Kick down the door! Drew, you are not doing this! Not nice! There's a giant head! You hear yourself? I made like 2,000 of these. I'd like to have fun. With you wherever you are, welcome to LFR. Leafs lose 4-3 to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Diddly doodly. Stay cool, dangly diddly doodly. We're just gonna no. Do the read first. You're gonna have to do the read first. Think you know which way it's gonna go? Like when your team has a 2-0 lead at home against the worst team in the league. Then make your bet at Sports Interaction. When the puck drops, Sports Interaction has you covered pre-game, live betting on all major sports, and prop bets. Want to bet? Head to sportsinteraction.com/STPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/STPN, and download the Sports Interaction app. But only for 18 plus, and please play responsibly. Okay. No, we're gonna relax. We're gonna have a little bit of therapy. We're gonna have a little chill sesh. We're gonna talk about our feelings. Here, let's make a list of things that we dislike. I'll go first. I don't like blowing multi-goal leads to the worst team in the league at home. I don't like that. I don't like repeating myself. I definitely don't like that. And I don't like growing stubble on my face for a week and a half every spring for no good reason. Steve, whoa. Okay, we need to relax here. Dude, the Leafs beat the Blue Jackets last night. Not only did they beat the Blue Jackets, they shut the Blue Jackets out. The Leafs looked far and away like the better team, and there was a kid in net tonight. It was a kid. Their starting goalie, Ilya Samsonov, was in net the night before. He got a shutout. I don't think you should overreact to every single game. You know what? Correct. You don't overreact to every single game. This particular game, this individual game, this game that happened tonight, this game that the Leafs lost 4-3 to the Columbus Blue Jackets, you cannot overreact to! Now here's my theory. Here's my little pet theory that what happened to the Toronto Maple Leafs in this game. They were dominating the Blue Jackets, dominating them in the first period. They outshot them 11-4. Joseph Woll looked practically bored back there, except the 4 shots he faced were pretty good. But he looked bored back there. He wasn't tremendously busy. And Elvis Merzlikins entered this game. 70 goalies around the National Hockey League heading into this game had played at least 10 games. Merzlikins' save percentage, which was .870 heading into this game, was ranked 69th. I tweeted that before the game. A lot of people think that's why the Leafs lost. No, the Leafs lost because they're the Leafs, and I'll expand on that in a moment. But the reason I tweeted that was not to make fun of Elvis Merzlikins. It was just to tweet the number 69 because it's funny. It is a very notably funny number, the sex number. We were very recently 69 days away from 420, and that is double funny. But that tweet proved to be prophetic, at least in the first period. William Nylander stands, shoots, scores. Of course he does. He's a great shooter against a goalie who's not very good. Shortly after that, Michael Bunting, and we're going to spend a fair amount of time on this video on Michael Bunting, works for the puck along the boards, creates a turnover, Mitch Marner gets it, gives it back to Michael Bunting, who stands and shoots and scores! Woo! Big Sally, 2-0 Leaf lead. But then the Jakob Chychrun stuff kicks off during the first period, and my theory is the Leafs read it at intermission. That is the only excuse for how terribly this team played for the rest of the night. I had to look it up myself. I'm looking at the numbers. I still can't believe it. Can we put it here so that you can see it as well? Leafs outshot the Blue Jackets 11-4 in the first period. I think I already told you that. The Blue Jackets outshot the Leafs 21-10 in the second. Leafs at home. Blue Jackets at bottom of the league. They expanded the league to 32 teams. The Blue Jackets still at the bottom. And in the third period, a period that the Leafs were losing almost the entire time, the Blue Jackets outshot them 15-8 at home! After the first period, the Blue Jackets outshot the Leafs 36-18. As in the final 40 minutes of that game, the Blue Jackets had twice as many shots as the Leafs! Yeah, second half of a back-to-back against them! They're tired too! They're not even playing at home! So Steve, you can yell and scream that it's unacceptable. At least show us what's unacceptable. Don't mind if I do! There were 2 players in particular that I would like to spend a moment ranting on. Boone Jenner of the Columbus Blue Jackets has made his way into trade rumors. I couldn't tell you why, because he is in the first year of his contract extension, making under $4 million. Like, he's got 3 years left after after this. What? Why are they getting rid of him? He's the captain. But it doesn't matter. Never mind that. You can see why a playoff-bound team would want a guy like Boone Jenner. He's big, he's kind of nasty, he battles in front of the net, and he eats defensemen like Justin Hall alive! Justin! Let him know you exist! Let him know you are vaguely there! This is not how you move a 6'2", 200+ pound NHL forward out of the way. This is barely how you look over someone's shoulder to cheat on an exam! So he gets a clear look. That's the first Blue Jackets goal. Here comes the second Blue Jackets goal. Oh, no, never mind. There's a rebound and Hall's got it. Oh, wait, no, he doesn't. Whiffs on it, overskates the puck. There's the easiest goal that you've ever scored, and now it's 2-2. Now this next goal, Justin Hall was not involved in. He actually wasn't on the ice. You know who was on the ice? TJ Brody. But TJ Brody was doing his job. He was actually taking out 2 players at once. But for the rest of you... The Blue Jackets are jamming away at it. Joseph Woll is not able to get his glove on it to cover it up, but Alex Kerfoot is there, but Kerfoot can't get the puck. Wait a second. Why is Kerfoot there? Morgan! Why? How come? For the purpose of what? Riley, who has not been doing himself any favors recently in terms of how much Leaf fans are confident in him, not great. The Blue Jackets take the lead. Now, in Morgan Riley's defense, he is able to clean up his own mess. Mitch Marner, who had a fantastic and completely wasted game, sets up Morgan Riley, who shoots and scores, ties the game. All is forgiven. The Leafs are going to ride this momentum for the rest of the game and be A-OK. A little later in the third period, the Blue Jackets floated on. Not to worry, Justin Hall is right there, and Ken Johnston is behind him. Oh, one sec, let me just scooch past you there. No, now he's no longer behind him. He gets the deflection and the puck goes in. Now I know a lot of you want to talk about this and how the Leafs were wronged and how they were so wronged, and I'm not gonna lie, this one is super duper close because they review it for the high stick. The rule is more than the stick being at or above the crossbar. It's where the puck makes contact with the stick. Part of the stick can be at or above the crossbar as long as the puck hits a part of that stick that is under the crossbar. Now I feel like part of the high sticking rule is because of safety, and it feels like that particular aspect of the rule would negate that safety, but that's the rule. The puck makes contact at or below the crossbar. They dub it a goal, and since it's a goal, that means it's legal, and if it's legal, then we can talk about Justin! The white jerseys, not your team! This man, Ken Johnson, he's a rookie who is 175 pounds. We know and have known the Leafs are playing the Tampa Bay Lightning. Name any player. Name any player. Name any of the big players on that team or on the Bruins or on, let's say the Leafs beat both of those guys. On any of the good teams. You can't move any of them. Forget the ability to move this player. He does not know he is there. And if he does know he's there, he doesn't seem particularly bothered by it. I said it on the podcast and I'll say it again. By and large, like over an 82-game season, the vast majority of those 82 games, Justin Hall will be good, or at very least adequate. His bad games are unusable. Absolutely unusable. How wasn't he benched? Dude! A lot of players have a bad game, and it comes down to like, oh, he had a bad moment. Oh, he iced the puck a couple of times. Oh, he took a bad penalty. This is 3 goals where he was an absolute passenger. Unacceptable. He cannot be in your top 6 come game 1 of the playoffs. If you have any realistic fantasy of making it to the second round, no way. Done. And something else happened in that third period, and I want to talk to you about it. This is the second player that I'm going to rant about. The Leafs actually came pretty close to tying this thing late. Sheldon Keefe pulls Joseph Woll with over 3 minutes to go. They had a lot of scoring chances. Merzlikins, like, give him credit. After that abysmal first period, he was making wild saves. He had that wicked save on Yarncroke. He had a few other really good ones. But the Leafs came so close. Kind of feels like if they had just, like, I don't know, 2 more minutes, like 2 extra minutes in that third period where they weren't shorthanded for no good reason, they could have tied it up. The player who, frankly, when the net was empty, I thought came closest to tying the game up for the Leafs was Michael Bunting. He had a goal earlier in the game, and I thought he played great in the final 3 minutes as the Leafs looked to claw back and get that 4th goal. But he took 2 penalties in the latter half of this game and 1 in the third period that are frankly unforgivable. I had a number of people tweeting me throughout the game that I was absolutely right on the podcast. And if you missed the rant on the podcast, it was a lot calmer than this. I was just speaking matter-of-factly. Michael Bunting is too easy of a target for the best teams in the NHL. He is too easy to anger, he is too easy to agitate, and he is too easy to get off of the ice. In normal times, when everyone is healthy, the Leafs are worse with Michael Bunting off of the ice. Now, with Auston Matthews out of the lineup, every time Michael Bunting goes in that box, 2/3 of the Leafs' top line are missing. The other third of that, Mitch Marner, is taxed with playing like the full 2 minutes on the penalty kill, trying to kill the thing. And then once they're back at even strength, he's back out there trying to get them back on top. He played 28 minutes in this one. That penalty with Kuraly, ridiculous. And yes, it was 4-on-4. Dude, Kuraly's on the worst team in the National Hockey League's 4th line. Bunting, you're up there as the top left winger. That is not a good trade for this team. And then the silly little agitation trade, the silly little agitation push that he gets a penalty for and puts the Leafs down for 2 minutes. The refs are looking for it, man. And I talked about this on the pod. They're looking for it and they hate this kid. They're looking to give him penalties and they're not looking to call them on him. And you're going to say, Steve, how is this a rant about Michael Bunting? You know why it's a rant about Michael Bunting? I am tired. I am tired of having this rant about the officials. I had a few tweets. All the officials need to do is their job. What? That's like the dinosaurs saying all we need to keep going is for that giant asteroid to miss Earth. It's not going to. Stop reading the same book and thinking it's going to end any different way. All you got to wait for is for the officiating to be good and unbiased and for them to have no personal grievances with any individual player. You're living in a fantasy, man! We had the same discussion with Kadri. It's a replay. It's wild how much of a replay it is. He led the league in penalties drawn. The refs got hip to it. They stopped calling anything ever until Babcock called them out, like a month and a half in to their boycott of calling penalties. And now there's Bunting, who not only, my voice is failing me, who not only is not getting the calls for and is getting the penalty calls against, he's coming undone when it happens. He's too easy to anger. Marchand is going to be able to pick a guy like that apart. Jake DeBrusk, when he's healthy, any of the Bruins defenders. What about Tampa? Like, we keep complaining that this playoff format is unfair and the divisional format is unfair. Dude, losses like this guarantee, we already know the Leafs are playing Tampa. Losses like this guarantee that not only are the Leafs going to play Tampa, but they're going to be the road team. The Leafs are going to be in a worse position heading into this playoffs than they were last year, and they might finish higher in the standings, but it does not matter. They're not going to change the playoff format in February. That is what it is. So they're playing Tampa. We know they're playing Tampa. We have time to prepare for the fact that they're playing Tampa. And you think this guy's going to be able to keep his cool against Corey Perry? Pierre-Edouard Bellemare? Patrick Maroon? Nick Paul? Brandon Hagel ate the Leafs alive last year. And I'm almost exclusively talking about guys in Tampa's bottom 6. You've got to chill. It's not just about being aggressive and violent It's not just about that. It's, yeah, stick up for yourself, obviously. Yeah, be a bit of a rat, obviously. He loses his cool, and it costs the team. And I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how else to express how unacceptable that is, but it is going to cost the Leafs their season if it doesn't fix itself. So we have a player in the top 6 defenders who frankly does not belong there. Definitely not when game 1 of the playoffs start. We have the top line left winger who may not be worthy of that spot on a Stanley Cup winning team. I wouldn't waste my time ranting about Bunting if I thought he sucked. He very obviously doesn't suck. He had a goal in this game. He was their best hope of tying the game at the end of it. If he sucked, I wouldn't waste my breath. I would just say he stinks. They need to improve. But one thing that solves a wild amount of issues for the Leafs in one fell swoop is if he just figures it out. And there are going to be more instances over the next few games. A guy like Athanasiou, Max Domi over the next little bit. All the Jack Eye on the Habs. There are going to be all these opportunities for guys to needle Bunting and bloody him up and knock him over and trip him. And we as fans can yell and scream that that's nonsense and that it should be called. Bunting can't rise to that. He's in chirp debt with the officials. It hurts the team. No, that's the I don't know what to tell you. They're not good at their jobs. They're not good at their jobs, and they're not going to figure it out overnight. So, what has worked in the past is when guys cool it, when guys chill out, and then the refs go, oh, good. He's become a professional. He's figured it out. I'm not saying they're right. I'm saying that is how it works. 2 + 2 = 4. I'm not sitting around and waiting for them to be good. The off season is when you fight the revolution. The off season is when you try to go, okay, you know what? Maybe this guy shouldn't be doing NHL games. He's not a very good official. Maybe this guy has an unforgivable bias and should never do a Leaf game again. Maybe this and that and the other. It's February. I'm not fighting that fight. What you got to do is figure it out. All these rumors of Dubas with Chychrun. Could Chychrun play up front too? This team very clearly needs a forward and a defender if they're going to have any shot. Because that game, dude, I know you're not going to win every game. You should win absolutely every game at home when you have a 2-0 lead after 20 against the worst team in the league. You should win that 97, 98, 99 times out of 100. Jeez. Questions. With the Leafs now blowing 2-goal leads against Anaheim, Montreal, and Columbus, in which game against Chicago do you think they'll do it? Home or away? Oh, wow. When you put all 3 of them back to back to back like that, it's both. Kerfoot out for the 6-on-5? Question mark? Yeah, I know. Like I said, they need a forward. Do you blame yourself for the loss, given that you posted Merzlikins stats before the game, thus challenging the hockey gods? It's the Leafs. They challenge the hockey gods by existing every day since May something 1967. And if you don't believe me and you think I was overdramatic, here's Sheldon Keefe after the game, and this is this team in a nutshell until they prove otherwise. Sheldon Keefe on the second period just got outworked, outplayed. How do you explain that? I can't. You guys talk to the players. I'm sure you ask them the same questions. I can't do the work for them.
I can't. You guys talk to the players. I'm sure that you ask them the same questions. I can't do the work for them.
That is a scathing quote from a head coach. And now the Leafs don't play their next hockey game until Wednesday. And woe be them if they lose that game, because then they don't play again until Saturday against the Habs, who they have not beaten this season. This is when you got to be playing your best of the regular season, leading into the trade deadline. And then after the trade deadline, there's nothing left but the guy to your left and right of you. The best teams in the league are going to continue to play better. They're going to warm up leading into the playoffs. This game was not an indicator of that from the Leafs at all. So that is it for this one. I am sweating buckets. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Shout out producer Rob. You do great work. Have fun with this one. Shout out producer Drew. You also do great work. Have fun with this one. Do I still have? I do have a puffer. I'm gonna go have that.